Well, hello everyone. Thank you for coming back for our next sign on the wheel. We're going to be discussing Libra as we enter into this video. And I just want to remind you guys, as I start the second section of this series, Libra through Pisces, that the purpose of these introduction videos of the sun signs is to just really kind of give you that flavor. To give you some facts, which we can go into a little more deeper into the classes as we go. But this is more about for those of you, who are considering, you know, doing charts and reading charts, and those of you in job situations where, you have that Libra boss or that relationship with the Libra. I want to give you guys kind of the little inside scoop in these videos so that, we can have some fun too. And remind you guys, it's hard to talk about each sign because there is, as in everything, a shadow side. And so I want to remind you that in talking about the shadow side, these are things that Libras can struggle with. It doesn't mean that they, will. They may master this throughout their life. You might be a Libra watching this and think, I don't have that problem. Maybe at one time in your life you did. Maybe it's a tendency. Maybe it's something and I mean, I guess we can blame it on the planets. I think to some degree we're born with these traits, and it takes a lifetime to learn to master them. So again, I want to just be able to be honest about some of the things that each sign struggles with without anybody feeling, personally attacked in any way. So I just a clarifier as we continue on, because as we continue in to the next side of the wheel here, we're getting into the more mature signs. We're getting into some of the deeper topics of life, the deeper subjects. Remember that when we're young and we're a child, we see life through a certain level of eyes. And as we enter into the seventh house, which rules Libra, we're looking now at relationships, partnerships. We have our identity, we know our values, we have our community, we know what we want in our home. And in our fifth house, we can begin to express ourselves and kind of get out there and express these parts of our youthful personality. And in the sixth house, which we talked about with Virgo, we're being more mature now a little bit too. We have to start to count the cost in life and, to really plan ahead. And so in the seventh house now, we're looking for a partner. We're looking for somebody we can share our experiences with, somebody that we can give and take, that we can learn to put before us. And that really is what the sign of Libra is all about. We do know that it's ruled by Venus. It's the only sign on the wheel that is actually a object. Okay, when we look at Libra and we look at the symbolism, we see the balance. We see the balance. We see the scales. And this is often the judge. This is often people who are lawyers. It's interesting because when you look at like talk shows, for example, like The View, who talk about political issues and world events, most of all those talk show hosts will have a strong placement of Libra, Mars in Libra. You see a lot of people who are debating and discussing. And the Libra thing I love most about Libra is one of my favorite signs. I do have Mercury and Venus in Libra. So, as I'm talking about it, I'm going to be talking from my experience as well. Because although we are talking about the sun sign, if you have these placements in your chart, you will experience some of these characteristics. And Libra spends a lot of time up in their mind. They're juggling things all the time, the pros and the cons. What's the best way to handle this? What is the, using the most etiquette? How can I communicate in a way that presents the case? So if you're talking to a Libra and you come in really hysterical or really emotional, that's going to really kind of turn the Libra off. They may almost seem like, do you have any emotions? And what happens is, and with the air signs, they have the ability to detach from their emotions and begin to weigh out the situation, weigh out the circumstance, trying to look at it from everybody's point of view. Now, in this case, this can become a problem at times because they can be fearful of making a decision, often weighing things out for so long to the point where either they just go away, which a Libra would love because they don't particularly want confrontation. They spend a lot of time thinking about how to handle situations. So they can become maybe codependent, you see here, because they don't want to ruffle feathers, or they're trying to maybe even see it from the other person's point of view, to the point of, feeling sorry for other people. Now, we can have compassion, but we have to be so careful that we don't have distorted compassion. Compassion, I'm going to move this just a little bit, you guys. I'm sorry, the sun is really bright. I'm trying to have some good lighting and plan my time out here, but it doesn't always work out perfectly. So here we are. Feeling sorry for somebody or walking in their shoes or overthinking about their experiences, sometimes we can get in the way of their journey in life, of their struggles that they need to go through. The Libra often provides help when needed and will be there when you need them. They love to be with you. They love to be in a partner type situation. So even going down to the store, a Libra, hey, come with me. You want to go with me up to the store? That's a Libra. Now, because it's ruled by Venus, okay, Libra is one of the most beautiful signs of the zodiac as far as characteristics go. There's usually a lot of balance in their face and in their body. You often see gymnasts here. Even women, kind of a tomboy, okay? They're a little bit more of a tomboy here for women. Men, Libras often get kind of characterized as being everyone's best friend. So they, you have a Libra male in your life, they can be your bestie. A lot of the girls love a Libra man, but sometimes they struggle with an inferiority complex of, instead of getting to be the knight in shining armor, they're the one you want to talk to and tell all your relationship problems to. Libras are a blast to talk to. And really, if you're in a relationship with a Libra, again, they're stimulated mentally. So, if you want to warm up the situation, their foreplay is in conversation. Talk to your Libra. Talk to your Libra about intellectual things. And maybe you think, well, I don't want to talk. Let's be together. Let's have fun, and we'll talk later. No, Libra that's part of their process of connecting. Libra rules the lower back and also the kidneys, so they can have lower back problems. They can have kidney problems. It's not uncommon to see Libra as having addictions. They say, Libra's often, your good old pop buddy. And alcohol can be a problem too, because this is another sign, because it is an air sign that does operate on a lot of high anxiety and mental vibration, a constant conversation in their head. I was saying earlier that they are one of the prettiest signs of the zodiac, and that's what they love to do. They have a need to be admired, to, tell me I'm pretty, tell me I look good. They like to dress up, very artsy, and, want to feel good. They like you know, they're going to go down, and just like Venus and Taurus wants to have the best of everything, more comfort. Venus and Libra wants the best, but more in the artistic realm. So the best jewelry, handmade pieces, collection items, art, antiques, things that are made of high quality, but they're very, very connected to artists. So when they dress up, you know, like I have Venus in Libra, so sometimes I don't think I see my Libra as much, but as I'm talking about it, you know, I love to, oh, these earrings, and tell the story, and they're handmade, and there's only one of a kind. I mean, I love that. Now, this can also be, you know, when they are dating, especially for a woman, they don't mind being often like arm candy. I know that sounds a little bit, I hope it doesn't sound degrading in any way. I think it's more in fun that to be able to walk into a party or an event, which they also love because Libra rules these, you know, community events as well. It's kind of like the third house, but it's more of social connections, groups. You know, they like to, because they like a partner, they like to have that partner and be on their arm, and come in and show off and be the, you know, be the special partner. So, you know, men who kind of like a more, not so much submissive. I think Virgo, we get a little more submissive when we look at Virgo, that kind of catering. Libra is a little bit more coy, you know, they'll be charming, and they'll look the part, and they enjoy that kind of role playing. One of the shows back, believe in the 60s that came out was Bewitched. I think you guys remember that. And I always think of that as a good example of the Libra woman, because she had these magic abilities, these very specific abilities to, um, you know, to cast spells, and she understood what was going on in that realm. And yet she was in love with a mortal, and she had to make that choice. Can I be this magical woman, or do I need to kind of be, you know, the woman that helps the man be successful? And a Libra woman will often fill that role for a man. If they are successful, they won't necessarily, you know, brag about it. They'll still kind of play that role, like, oh, I'm just in the background, like Samantha did. Although, if you remember, you know, her husband always went to her, and she always had the advertising, got him out of trouble, and all of those things. And that is, again, a personality of Libra. Um, Libra men will also be fabulous supporters, of what you're doing, and like to come alongside. There's kind of a chalkboard, though, that can go on, you know, in your mind. Like a Libra will often give, and you think they just give and they put everyone first. But don't think that they don't have that little chalkboard that, you know, they picked up dinner 3 times this week. They might not say anything, but if you ever go to debate a Libra on a topic, every single one of those things will be remembered. So again, I don't see it so much where they're brewing and stewing about it, but they're making note. They make note of everything that they do. If you're going to have a conversation with a Libra, you're going to want to present it like a court case. You can't go in all hysterically emotional. You need to go in, you need to set the room, set the tone. So if you're going to talk to your partner, let's just say, for example, let's say your partner here, a little music in the background, maybe light a little candle, kind of have a little ambiance in the room. And then, you know, the kids are out, everything's quiet, and you want to have a discussion about something. And you need to present it in a way that they can understand, asking them questions. How do you feel about that? Because if you go in all emotionally hysterical and I feel this way, you know, it really shuts down the conversation for a Libra. They just can't handle that. They have to be able to sort it out. So again, if you want to have a really good conversation, you want to practice the art of presentation for the Libra. So Yeah, I love Libras. I think that they balance things out. They're artistic, amazing singers. Another sign, Taurus and Libra are your singers, musical musicians. Again, beautiful. They do have to be careful of getting too superficial. Now, that can happen because of the need to be admired or to just have people tell you you look good. There's something about Venus that always wants to surround itself with beauty. Sometimes they make bad decisions just because it sounds like fun and they can wear their new bathing suit, or they can drive in their new car. They'll do things often just to kind of have that adrenaline rush of excitement and beauty and attention, and not always think through consequences of what they're doing and can get in trouble. So they have to remember that they have to have that substance within. Um, Sometimes, like I said, and just kind of reiterating, they can come off cold at times when they're in a discussion, or shut down, or disappear, or not respond. If you're texting your partner and you're wanting to have this little emotional discussion, and all of a sudden they disappear, like they don't respond, and did you hear me, did you answer me, what do you know that's really hard on their brain, because they're going, well, what should I say? Well, if I say this, then that'll make them mad. If I say this, then that'll happen. And what should I do? And in that pause, people get pissed. People get pissed off because emotional people want quick responses. Um, and if you've had a Libra disappear on you in your life, again, sometimes it's easy to take that personally, but if they're done with the relationship and they've tried to communicate that, and their voice has just been kind of mowed over, or if they feel overpowered, they just disappear, because they will avoid conflict if they can. Um, this can also be a little two-faced. The Libra can be a little two-faced in terms of, trying to balance things out. Like, that person really hurt me, but I'm just going to play nice. They have a hard time really dealing with the truth. But if you understand how their mind operates, and you can sit down and have a conversation with a Libra, you will gain so much insight, because they are mediators, they are counselors. They'll be able to help you make a decision, or at least give you all the options, so you feel empowered to make your own decision. And in doing that, they offer the greatest gift to us. Now, if we can help them by keeping those conversations going to look within themselves and make decisions, then that's a gift we can give to a Libra. So I hope that was helpful, you guys. There's a few things to roll around, and I appreciate it. Stay tuned, because I'm coming back for Scorpio. And we know we don't want to miss that.